It's Brian Preston, the money guy.
Question from Tyler. The wife and I are 30, income is $250K per year, and they're saving 35%.
Nice.
We grew up humbly and feel guilt after a reasonable vacation or even a night out. How do we drop the poverty mindset and get to one of healthy scarcity?
Tyler, this is a hard one because, I grew up the same way. Super, super humble beginnings, where like early on in life, the decisions we made were out of necessity, right? Like we didn't get to go to restaurants. We did go to restaurants. It was dollar menu only. Like that's the only, deal. It's sometimes hard to fight those tendencies, right? Like I remember, Brian, I'll be curious if you agree with this. I used to go to Taco Bell. Taco Bell was my guilty pleasure when I was in college and as a young adult, and I just loved it, right? I would only ever order off the dollar menu. And even as I had like some success and had some money and I had some I could, spend more, ordering the quesadilla always made me feel kind of bad, right? I'm like, it's $4 or $5. Why on earth would I spend that money on the quesadilla when I can go get like 2 or 3 things for $1? I'm not doing that well. It's a hard thing to fight. So I just want to tell you, you're not alone. Most financial mutants, a lot of folks who have come from humble beginnings to now having some level of success, I think probably do struggle with this. I can tell you're already doing one of the single best things that you can do to fight it, and you're saving first. You're paying yourself first. You already said you have a 35% savings rate. That tells me that you're not living out ahead of your skis. So right now, your desire to be tight and your guilt that you feel when spending money is not the guilt that most people feel when they spend on something and there's like this inkling in the back of their mind that says, I know I shouldn't do that. Oh yeah, I'm gonna take the family to Disney, but I know I shouldn't. You're not in that situation. You know that you're covering the financial basics because you have such a healthy savings rate. Now you gotta work on the mental mentality. That's a dumb way to say that. You gotta work on the mindset to make sure that, okay, it's okay that I'm spending, and here's how I know that it's okay that I can spend this way.
Well, it ties, you got to be, number one is you got to be purposeful. There's a reason we do the financial order of operations, kind of let you know what's going on. And Tyler, maybe you want to even do the deep dive and go to learn.moneyguy.com and look at the course, because one of the first things we go over the ground rules that kind of sets the table for the financial order of operations. And we talk about generosity and we talk about other things. But if you're purposeful and actually know what the why is, you've actually put some internal, thought towards this, which you obviously are. You're watching the Money Guy show, getting this question in there. So I think that's a good thing. And I think it also shows, and I want you to be, and this is I've written on the second thing, was have the heart filled with gratitude, because I think so much in our current world is telling you how the system works against you and it's bad and you can't do this. And I hate that, because I know that there's another generation behind us that, man, if we don't start fostering and nurturing optimism, how does this repeat itself? Because I love the fact I come from humble beginnings too, but I've tried to come at it with the heart of gratitude, and I've always recognized that with Bo immediately. He says thank you more than anybody else that I know, and he does it well, where you feel like he means it, and that's why I want you to do the same thing. I can tell that you're having some thoughts towards this. So be purposeful, meaning that you're using financial order of operations. Have the heart of gratitude and the fact that you know that this has been a blessing that's put upon you. So that leads to the third thing. Now be generous. I mean, there's nothing wrong with you not only enjoying yourself, but also being generous with, if you don't have money, do it with time initially, but then once you have money, start being generous with your resources. But I would encourage you to think about really this whole trap that's been set is that we should be mad at success. I don't like that. My daughter and I were talking about it when I think things are a little different. I probably sound a little old man on the front porch, but coming from humble beginnings and having, when you go to school and you see people who have money, whenever I got to go visit a friend that had more and you went to their house, I'd be like, man, this is a nice house. Or you rode in their parents' car and you're like, this is a nice car. I'd be like, man, I'm going to try to pay attention and figure out what I can do to elevate my family situation. I've shared with you guys, my dad did well compared to a lot of his relatives because he got to go play college football at the University of Florida. That was his pick 'em up, was he got that free education for being an athlete. And then my pick 'em up is I was able to take my dad getting a PE degree, but realizing still going to college gave him a better opportunity, and figure out, hey, maybe accounting or other things. I was very purposeful with everything I did, because when I was younger, I was trying to figure out how I could actually strive and challenge myself to be better. I don't like it when people tell you the system is broken, because now it's a pile-on effect. I mean, with negativity and optimists, all of our success studies show optimists dominate. So if you're not figuring that part out, it's I would embrace the fact of being an optimist, but be very deliberate with your resources, so that you can navigate this well and feel good on the other side. That's the other reason I love the 25%, is it's supposed to free you. I mean, if you're giving generously and you're saving for the future, I'm hopeful that what's left over at the end, you feel like, man, I've already checked the boxes. This is what I can go enjoy because I've been responsible, and this is the reward. So you can do the nice trips, and you can create the memories.
I want to ask you a question, or more, you speak to this. I made this stupid example of buying a quesadilla instead of dollar menu, or getting the place where you can put guac on your burrito and not feel guilty about it. He specifically said he feels guilt after going on nice vacations. And that's something that you said you've never had that angst. Now, there's a right time to do it and a wrong time to do it. But when you spend money on those sorts of things, that's something that you assign a lot of value to.
No, I do. I mean, I love, my oldest daughter graduated high school, and we went to Paris to celebrate that. I mean, I could have never fathomed that. Now, but I think it's so great that I did. But I will tell you, I've had to talk to her because I've tried to create scarcity in other parts of her life, like the car. I made her pay for half of it.
Yep.
But I feel like even my daughter, we've had a lot of discussions on it, because I'm trying to make sure I don't create a ruined person. Because I see people that if you're not creating any scarcity in people's lives, I think you're stealing the opportunity for them to experience their own joy of navigating life. But no, I think that memories, because you get to take those with. I always think that you get to take those, and it's something that they also blossom. Memories even if you do, I've told you guys about my poor trips in my 20s, but they've turned into great memories now. There's nothing wrong with doing that. And plus, also, here's where I am. My time is worth a lot. I know I don't have as much time as I had back when I was in my 20s and I was a billionaire of time.
Sure.
Now I'm much less. So I'm going to make sure that time is very deliberate. Now, if I'm traveling across the pond, I'm a big guy. I mean, I don't know. I'm sitting next to another big guy. I'm going to fly in comfort. I'm not going to do it because, truthfully, it's better for my health. It's the same way. I mean, if you're not focusing on the things that value your time and other things, I think you can lose focus on what are you even doing this for. I mean, because this is a tool. This doesn't define you, but it is a tool. Be generous. Be purposeful. And then enjoy it, because you've done the hard work. Enjoy it. You're not bad for that.
Love it.